Let's go Eagles. Howie Roseman has done it again. While the rest of the NFL was handing out inflated contracts and scrambling to fill holes, the Philadelphia Eagles executive vice president and general manager was quietly orchestrating one of the most savvy off-seasons we've seen in recent memory. This isn't just your typical free agency recap. This is a look at what could be considered another Howie masterpiece. A series of calculated moves that could pay off big in 2025 and beyond, all without breaking the bank. Man, I'm glad we have a smart general manager. That's why I think we're going to the Super Bowl again. If you agree that Howie is an excellent GM, hit that like button hard. If you want, comment like this: Go Howie, go Eagles, the Super Bowl will be ours again. Let's start with Avery Williams, a name that may not make national headlines, but should be on every Eagles fan's radar. This isn't just another depth signing. This is Howie playing chess while other teams play checkers. Williams, originally drafted by the Falcons in 2021 out of Boise State as a cornerback, made the rare switch to offense as a sophomore, converting to running back. His skill set is unique, and his story even more so. At 5 feet 10 inches and 200 pounds, he's a short, stocky athlete with a skill set that screams versatility. In 2022, he led the entire NFL in punt return average with 16.2 yards per return. Fast forward to 2024, after missing the 2023 season with a torn ACL, and he posted 27.2 yards per kickoff return and 9.3 yards per punt. Those aren't just solid numbers. Those are elite. With Britton Covey no longer on the roster and still unsigned in free agency, the door is wide open for Williams to step in and make an immediate impact on special teams. But here's the kicker. The Eagles aren't just bringing him in as a return man. Nick Sirianni, speaking from the NFL owners' meetings, made it clear. Williams has offensive potential too. Yes, offense. This is where the foresight of Howie Roseman truly shines. The NFL just passed a new kickoff rule that will likely increase the number of returns, a shift aimed at injecting more excitement into special teams play. Under this new setup, guys like Williams become even more valuable. It's not just about a few extra yards, it's about game-changing field position and hidden yardage that can swing outcomes. Howie saw this coming and pounced, getting a player who can contribute in multiple ways for cheap. That's not just smart, that's next level. And we're not done. Williams isn't just a return man with a cool story. He's a Swiss Army knife. Back in 2021, as a rookie with the Falcons, he took snaps at multiple spots across the defense. Slot corner, outside corner, free safety, even a couple snaps on the defensive line. In 2022, after his switch to offense, he logged time in the backfield as a slot receiver and even lined up wide and at tight end. That kind of versatility doesn't grow on trees. And with Kenneth Gainwell gone, the Eagles could use someone like Williams who can fill multiple offensive roles. And there's more strategy at play here. The Eagles want to reduce Cooper DeJean's workload in the return game to keep him healthy and focused on locking down opponents on defense. Williams helps achieve that. You save your rookie phenom's legs and still get elite return production. It's a win-win. But Howie wasn't satisfied just making a sneaky move for a returner. He also went bargain hunting on the edge, landing 2 pass rushers who could end up being absolute steals: Azeez Ojulari and Josh Uche. Ojulari signed a 1-year deal worth just $3 million with a cap hit of only $2.7 million. He's only 24 years old, 25 in June, and in just 30 career starts, he's already racked up 22 sacks. That's not potential, that's production. Yes, he's had some injuries, but when healthy, he's a legitimate threat off the edge. The Eagles didn't pay for potential here. They paid for results. And if he can stay on the field, he might just be the spark this pass rush needs opposite Nolan Smith.
Uche, on the other hand, comes in on a $1.9 million deal with a cap hit of just $1.3 million. He's not a lock to make the final 53, but don't sleep on his upside. Back in 2022, he had an 11.5 sack season. Since then, he hasn't hit those heights again, but analytically, he's still been very strong. His pressure rate since 2022? A stunning 16.7%, 6th among all edge rushers in the NFL. That's elite company. Andy Reid even commented that Uche didn't fit what the Chiefs do on defense, but in Vic Fangio's system, he could find new life. This is where Howie Roseman's genius shows through again. You're paying peanuts for players who could give you primetime production. If either Ojulari or Uche even approach their best form, you've got a major upgrade at a key position, and if they don't, the financial risk is almost non-existent. That's classic Howie. It's roster building with foresight, creativity, and fiscal responsibility. So let's recap what the Eagles did here. They added a former NFL leading punt returner who also offers offensive gadget potential at a time when the NFL is changing kickoff rules to create more return opportunities. They signed 2 pass rushers who have proven they can get to the quarterback, one of whom has elite pressure stats, the other elite sack production, both for under $5 million total. And none of these moves prevents them from making further improvements in the draft. It's not just smart cap management. It's a blueprint for how you build a Super Bowl caliber team while maintaining flexibility. The Eagles are getting younger, faster, and more versatile, and they're doing it without locking themselves into bad deals. Now I want to hear from you. Eagles Nation, what do you think about these moves? Is Avery Williams going to become our next special team star? Do you see Ojulari and Uche thriving in Vic Fangio's system? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And speaking of just getting started, let's go even deeper into the ripple effect these signings could have on the overall dynamic of this Eagles roster. Because when Howie Roseman makes moves like this, they don't just fill gaps. They set the tone for how this team wants to play football in 2025. Let's zoom in again on Avery Williams. With Nick Sirianni's excitement and Michael Clay's special teams unit looking to rebound after some inconsistent stretches last season, the expectations for Williams aren't just limited to flipping field position. This coaching staff believes in his ability to be a legitimate offensive contributor, not just a decoy or a gadget guy who gets a few reps here and there, but someone who could slot into actual offensive packages. We're talking jet sweeps, bubble screens, change of pace handoffs, maybe even direct snaps. Sirianni hinted that Williams has potential to surprise folks in this offense. Think about what this means. If you can get meaningful snaps from a player who was signed for next to nothing, you're freeing up your offensive playbook, you're keeping defenses guessing, and more importantly, you're conserving wear and tear on your top-tier weapons like Saquon Barkley and DeVonta Smith. This move also gives the Eagles insurance, not just for special teams, not just as a rotational back, but potentially in emergency situations. Remember, this guy has lined up all over the field in his career, slot, wide out, even a few reps at tight end. He's taken snaps as a DB. He's even thrown passes. The creativity potential here is off the charts. And in an NFL landscape where the element of surprise can be the difference between a win and a loss, Avery Williams might just be the ace up Sirianni's sleeve. Now let's circle back to the edge rushers. There's a very real chance that one or both of Azeez Ojulari and Josh Uche end up starting games in 2025, and not because of injury or desperation, but because they earn it. Ojulari, despite being just 24, already has 22 career sacks in 46 games. That's almost a sack every other game, and keep in mind, he hasn't even played full-time snaps across all those games. You give him consistent reps, especially lined up next to the likes of Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, and Nolan Smith, that's a recipe for chaos in opposing backfields. He's got the bend, he's got the closing speed, and he finishes plays. The only knock on Ojulari has been durability, but when healthy, he's as productive as any young pass rusher in the league. And again, we're talking about a 1-year, $3 million deal. It's absurd value. That's why you get a guy like Avery Williams. That's why you take a chance on Josh Uche. That's why you invest in Azeez Ojulari. Not because you're desperate, but because you're thinking ahead. You're preparing for the grind. You're giving yourself options.